Now it's the wrap on day 2 of the scouting mission. Got one more day tomorrow, Friday that is, to try to see what these deer are actually doing, on a consistent basis. We've had 2 evenings and 1 morning to glass them so far, and actually saw a new buck this morning that we didn't see last night, so that's promising. And it's actually a buck that looks very similar to that 3-point that we saw. We saw him again this morning, but it's the same one we saw yesterday afternoon. So nothing really new to report other than that. They're still on the same hillside. They're just kind of between these two chutes, working back and forth. But one thing that did happen today was we were headed back into town and came across a cow that was stuck in a cattle guard. It apparently tried to walk across, and if you don't know what a cattle guard is, it's just a metal grate with gaps. It's like metal pipes, like fencing pipes that are just welded, like with a space, the width of each pipe in between them. And the idea is that the cows won't cross it, so they usually go across the road, but this one apparently tried to cross it, and she got stuck in it, and it was kind of awful to see. She was still alive, but she was struggling and having a bad time. But I mentioned when I made that offline map that I turned my parcel boundaries on, and I was able to look at that, see who the landowner was, and call the sheriff's office at dispatch there, and they knew exactly who that person was, and they were able to get in contact with the rancher, and by the time we came back up for the afternoon, she was out. So kind of just an eye-opening experience to where having that information available was key in that moment. And that was just for the sake of the animal's safety and the animal's health. But something like that, where had it been a person in trouble, or just even if you're just hunting and trying to be mindful of property boundaries, but just a real life situation that came about where I was able to utilize that feature of BaseMap to find out who that landowner was, and potentially save the animal's life, but also save the rancher the expense of having a dead animal on his hands. So it was kind of cool to be able to go through that and identify who the right person was to get a hold of, and at least be able to tell the sheriff whose land it was. So it was like second nature. I just pulled the map up and there was the name, and it was easy to just call and say, hey, this person has a cow that's stuck in a cattle guard. She's distressed, still alive, but distressed, and need to get somebody out there. I was able to drop a pin on it, send them a screenshot, and they knew exactly where it was. So it paid off to have that for sure. But all in all, a good day, and just kind of winding down with the fire now, and the other guys headed back to town for the night. So just gonna burn this out and head to bed, and do it all again tomorrow.